Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. Today, we're talking about sauces. All different types of sauces here. I have so many of my new favorites, but I also have some of my old favorites that I still buy from Aldi because depending on what I want, they make the perfect pair with my meal. And yes, we're going to talk about sauces specifically, but really what we're talking about is how to make meals not so boring. One of the things that I've been working with a lot of my clients on is we've been really looking at their macros. I've been having them weigh food, and not everybody's at that stage, and I get that. So I meet you where you're at. But right now I have a lot of women who are perimenopause or in menopause, and they feel like they're eating a ton when in reality, they're not eating a ton of food. They're not eating a lot of the right things. So we're trying to flip-flop and trying to have them look at their macros and get a better idea. Well, what comes with this is getting really good at eating the same-ish meal every single day. As you see, my breakfast looks the same or very similar every single day. It's either sourdough bread or potatoes. It's always some eggs and egg whites, and then it's whatever vegetables I have on hand. So yes, there's some variety there, but it's also very simple and it's a staple. So when it comes to lunch and dinner, the same thing applies to me, is I either have rice or potatoes. If I have potatoes at lunch, I try to do rice at dinner. If I have rice at lunch, I try to do potatoes at dinner because those are going to be my best two carb options for hitting my macros. And then I need some flavor. Yes, we've got some olive oil in there to kind of cook the food. I've got my protein it's either a lean protein or it's something that's a little higher in fat, not crazy. So if I have beef at lunch, I typically try to have chicken at dinner or a whitefish or flip-flopping. But that can sound kind of boring when I talk about it. If you're like, really? That's what you eat all the time? Yes, but you've seen the meals that I make. I post about the food I eat. And a lot of that comes from finding, one, how to season your food correctly, which we do directly in our cooking club. I teach you how to season things, how to have fun in the kitchen, and how to make sure that you've got food that's coming out tasting good rather than, this was not very good. We all have to fail sometimes to be successful. But at some point, you can learn what combinations work well together, and I help you with that in the cooking club. The other thing is my sauces. So I have a really good friend in my life. She's been doing some bodybuilding recently, and she actually got me onto these sauces because when you're bodybuilding, you've got to be really strict with what you're putting in your body. Because if you've seen their physique, it is super important as we strength train and as we fuel our body that it has to be a certain way. And it is so cool to watch the discipline that comes in and the creativity. So there are these sauces called Taste Flavor Co. And I have my two favorites. I bought the variety pack, and I don't even think these are all of them now that I'm looking at them. I bought the variety pack, and some of them I really like, and some of them are just way too spicy or just not up my alley. I will make sure to link them in the show notes. But Taste Flavor Co., what's great is the sauce itself was built by a Bodybuilder. So he's got all the background. And the calories on these range from 5 calories per tablespoon to 15 calories per tablespoon. So way less than 2 tablespoons of ranch, that's 130 calories. Once again, ranch is not something you have to cut out. But when we are looking to track and we're looking to get a certain physique or we're trying to dial things in, weighing out how much we are having of something and really starting to get a visual of, wow, that's what 2 tablespoons looks like, is really important because without it, we just have no awareness behind it. And we do this in how we measure food with our hand as well. It doesn't always have to be weighed depending on your relationship with food. I will not always have you weigh. If you are somebody recovering from an eating disorder, I will not have you weigh because I don't want to go back down that train that you are healing from. But we will find ways of like your thumb, your palm, your fist, things like that. So as you're creating awareness and you're even just reading labels. So I like this teriyaki stir fry sauce from Aldi. This stuff is good. 1 tablespoon is 25 calories. It's got 0 fat, which is great, 7 carbs, 6 added sugar. Okay, this isn't really a bad option. But how often do I add just 1 tablespoon? I probably add 3 or 4 tablespoons if I'm not careful because I drizzle, mix around, drizzle. Especially if I'm making a big dish, I just pour it in. Whereas when I weigh it out or I measure it, I see and I taste what a serving size is. Like, hey, do I want more of that? I'm more conscious of putting it in. The other way to think about this is if you're somebody who has ever gotten drinks from Big B or Starbucks or any of those fancy lattes, don't get me wrong, I love a latte. I used to not be able to drink black coffee. So I would get the caramel marvel and it would be the full sugar and it was the large until I realized that, yes, there is that sweetness, there is that flavor that is brought to me, but there's a lot of emptiness in that. One of those is throws my macros and my calories off, that over time what I would do, and when I started to realize this, but I still wasn't a black coffee drinker, and you don't need to be a black coffee drinker, but instead of getting the large, I'd get a medium, and then I'd get the small, and then I'd say, okay, instead of 3 pumps of caramel syrup, can you do 2 pumps? And I finally was able to find a way to bring some of those empty calories down without having to get rid of the whole experience as a whole. And that's what these sauces are. So my favorite, I've got 3 favorites here. This one's my cherry smoked barbecue. This is my absolute favorite one. I put this on everything. This is the one where I think I told you guys, I actually know I did this. I posted a video and it actually had hot honey sriracha on it. These look very similar in the fridge if you're not paying super close attention, you haven't had your coffee yet. I thought I was grabbing the cherry smoked barbecue. I grabbed the hot honey, I put it all over my breakfast, I took a bite and I could not even eat it. So if you like spicy stuff, they've got 2 really great ones. They've got a mango habanero and then they've got a hot honey sriracha. Both really great. They are just way too spicy for me. Mike really likes these. These are usually ones that I send him to work with. And the cool thing is on the back, they tell you kind of what they pair well with. So if you are looking for options on how to reduce some of that high fat intake, because these have 0 fat in them, the carbs is really low, which is also great for when you are counting your macros. You want your carbs to come from sources that are going to fuel you rather than sources that are just kind of empty. So this cherry smoked barbecue is my absolute favorite. My second favorite is their sweet honey mustard. So good. And I literally just put these on anything. And then my third favorite is their creamy Southwest ranch. And this one right here, it doesn't work on everything I found, but it works really good like in a beef bowl, and it works really good with chicken. This one's got a little bit more unique taste. Ranch is probably... It tastes nothing like this ranch. So I'm not going to try to convince you that this is the new best ranch. I'm not going to try to convince you. But if you are looking for something a little spicier that gives off that ranch creaminess, this is a really good one. So as we are looking at this, whether we are adding dressings or we are adding barbecue chicken this summer or whatever it is, if we are not careful about when we are adding things, and if you are somebody who is trying to dial in, whether it's just being more aware or you're trying to hit your macros, whatever that looks like, it is important that you have good options to go to, that you have good salad dressings you can go to, you have clean options. Even just some olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette on top makes a really nice dressing and you don't need very much of it. If you've ever been to a Mediterranean place, that's exactly what they do with that little container. Shake that up, drizzle over. A lot healthier option. The fats are going to be healthier in it. We don't need to avoid it. We just need to be aware of it, because if for some reason we are, let's say, adding coffee creamer in our breakfast. And then at lunch, we are adding this to our salad. And then as a snack, we are having apples and peanut butter. And then at dinner, we're doing barbecue sauce and Parmesan and like a barbecue chicken pizza of some sort. Without even noticing, our fat is going to skyrocket and our macros are going to be out of whack. Once again, having high fat is not bad, but we want it to come from the right and appropriate places as best as we can. That's not to say, like I said, I have this and I can tell you what, when we have pizza, I have way more than 2 tablespoons. Way more than 2 tablespoons. I'm going to be honest about it. But what I also know is I can make a pretty good version with either Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, and I can make my own ranch at home. It's not the same. I'm not saying it is, but it actually hits the spot sometimes. And I will do that when I want something that's a little bit more macro friendly. And some of you are probably listening and you're like, what the hell are macros, Morgan? What are you talking about? You haven't really talked about this. You've always just been very basic on the food logging. Yes, I have been. The reason I'm talking about this is so many of my clients right now are food logging. We are looking at their macros and they are dialing in because that is the space that they are in. Not everybody is there. Everybody I start, we're just looking at a normal food log. We're trying to figure out what are the gaps. But when we hit that level of wanting to take it up a level, we are looking at those macros. I've got mine in MyFitnessPal. I'm tracking them throughout the week just to kind of be aware. Like I said, I eat a lot of the same meals on repeat. So if I eat the same breakfast every day and I weigh it out, I know the macros are the same. I don't need to track it, but I'm becoming aware of it because things are also hidden in our pesto, barbecue sauces, ranches, chip dips, the veggie dips, all of that. And there are healthier options to make this. And in our cooking club, I show you how to make different dips. Buffalo chicken dip, so good. But if you make it the traditional way, there's like 2 bags of cheese in there and 2 cubes of cream cheese. Not bad, but you can't overindulge on it or you won't feel good. So we make some healthier swaps in that recipe so that we feel better. So if you're like, okay, Morgan, I need some help with this. I'm ready. I want to make some changes to some of those dressings, to some of those dips that I love, especially here in the summer. Like I love being able to go and just indulge in dip. But that QD dip, I will never try to replicate QD dip here. Those of you who don't live in Lansing, Michigan, it is just chip dip and it is the most amazing thing in the world with some ruffles. But I know that if I have too much of that, I do not feel good. And I'm not going to replicate it. So I'm going to learn how to have some self-control around it. But I'm also going to know that, okay, what is another dip I could make that I could bring to the party so there's a healthier option there that I know makes my body feel good. It is so crazy that we look at tracking food, eating healthier, eating at home, exercising as things that are so out of the normal and like, oh, you're not going to eat that? No, I'm not. And that's okay. We have to have that balance between indulging and really wanting to enjoy that ranch and saying, no, I'm not feeling that today. I'm going to do some of the creamy Southwest. I'm not really feeling that really ranch feeling with this pizza. I'm going to try something different. And that's okay. We have to be able to be in tune. And also, if we are working towards certain goals, we have to be a little bit more stricter with ourselves. And we have to be able to say no and say, nope, I'm not going to make that. So there's so many options out there and we can dive deeper into specific things, but Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, you can make a ton of homemade dressings at home with. There's people who just have Instagram pages full of, and TikToks, but I don't have TikTok, of how to make dressings with your Greek yogurt, with your cottage cheese, with lemon juice, with vinegar, with olive oil, with balsamic vinaigrette, all of that. Like you can make your own dressings. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes energy. But if that is something you are looking to do and you want to take that to the next level, it is 100% possible. There are also other options out there. Like I said, you've got the Taste Flavor Co. I love their stuff. They have a ketchup Parmesan, and then they've got one more sauce. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I think they have 8 or 9 sauces now. I've only have 3 of them here in front of me today. But there's the Bolt House Farms yogurt dressings. Those ones are pretty good. And light Italian dressing, depending on the brand, take a look at all of it. But it's okay to get some light dressings. You can also do a really easy Google search or ChatGPT search on how to make your own at home. So don't feel like you are just lost when it comes to it. I also teach you how to do all of it in our cooking club. I give you recipes for things every single month. We do 1 live cooking class, and then I give you 3 to 4 additional recipes for you to try on your own. Sometimes they're dips, dressings, meals. This past month, we did a high protein pasta salad, which like when you take it to the cookout, it's that pasta salad with the mozzarella the balls and the pepperoni and the Italian dressing and the veggies. We made that. That was one of the recipes I gave away this past month. And it's really fun because there's the simple swap of making a protein pasta you enjoy. Nobody knows the difference. And when you indulge in it at a cookout, you are going to feel better. You're going to feel more fueled. You're going to feel like, oh, I'm actually eating something my body enjoys rather than just a bunch of emptiness. And the best part is it still tastes good. So if you want to learn how to flavor your food, cook with a little bit more intention, hit your nutrition goals, and you're ready to kind of take that nutrition to the next level, you can do 2 things. You can either check out the show notes and jump into our cooking club. It's just $17 a month, and you can cancel at any time. Come check us out for a couple months, and if it's not for you, shoot me a message and you can cancel. Or if you're like, Morgan, let's get in touch with my macros. Let's figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. I'm ready to food log. I'm ready to follow something. I'm ready to actually take my nutrition to the next level. I'm tired of complaining about it. I think I'm ready to take that step. Let's just talk about it. Shoot me a message. My email is morgan@getfitwithme-morganakovich.com. Send me a message, say nutrition in the subject line, and let me know a little bit about what your goals are, what you want to do, and then you and I will jump on a call and we'll figure out what I need to know so I can run your macros and we can get you all set up and we can talk through what a plan could look like for you. So food should taste good. There should be flavor. Yes, it can be the same simple meal every single day, but your flavors have the opportunity to change. You have the opportunity to not make it boring, to not make it be this thing that you don't look forward to. I'm not saying every meal needs to be glamorous and amazing and the most tasteful thing you've ever put in your mouth. No. But what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be that plain, boring chicken breast with white rice and plain unsalted broccoli. Doesn't have to be that way. You have the choice. So I'll add the taste sauce in the comments below. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you guys all back here next week. Thank you for tuning in to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.